should a Scrum Master do a PMP certification? Now I understand this confusion is normal because many of you who are working as a Scrum Master might be seeing some of your fellows are doing PMP certifications and others are not. Let's start from project and Scrum relationship. Many of you see that in a Scrum we don't have a project. So when we don't have a project, then why do we need a project management knowledge? Now Scrum is not implemented in a similar way, in the same way in all the organizations. People use Scrum in their own context. There are contexts which are project oriented context. There are contexts which are non-project oriented. Wherever you are using agile way of working, Scrum way of working, in a project context, you may need to apply project management skills in order to deliver customer value. And in those cases, having a knowledge of project management skill is a big plus, and PMP certification helps you in acquiring knowledge of project management skills. Now, what is a project context and what is a product context? See, there are two ways of working on a product. You take a goal, you run one particular project, you launch that particular product. Again, if some modification or enhancements are needed, you create another project. So that mode is called project way of working. So product get developed, maintained, or ultimately retired with the help of series of projects. So if you are working as a Scrum Master in that context where you work as a project, many times you work for a client and you are a vendor, you have a project goal in mind. That kind of working will require taking care of invoicing, taking care of contract, managing risk, and managing various types of stakeholders. And those kind of skills you can learn well in a PMP certification. Whereas the other mode of developing product is that you have a product, your team is allocated to that product for next 5 years, 10 years, till the time product is alive, your team is expected to work on that only. On a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, you keep improving that particular product. You don't have a temporariness attached, you are dedicatedly working for that product only, and you don't create any entity called project. In those contexts, we can say when the organization is working in a product mode, they may not require project management skill. In those contexts, you may not need to do a PMP certification. In general, if you are working for a service organization where you have a client to take care of it, the end users are client's end user rather than your own end users, and you have a contract in between, in that particular context, project management and PMP certification adds significant value. I also see many organizations hire leaders who can lead in multiple contexts. They might be doing Scrum based leading today, tomorrow they may end up doing Kanban based leading, day after tomorrow they may end up doing hybrid project based leading, and sometime even they start leading a waterfall project. So if you are focusing on project way of working as well as a delivery guy, you probably want to know the project management skills. And that's why I believe in general, until unless you are very dedicatedly working on product, in general doing PMP certification is a big plus for a Scrum Master. Now, some of you may get confused, am I eligible for it? Because I heard the PMP certification required some project management experience. So the PMP certification requires working in a project experience, a leading experience. And if you are working as a Scrum Master in a context where you are delivering products or projects, you can definitely qualify for the PMP certification eligibility. It is not as simple as CSM certification, but at the same time, it is not that difficult because nowadays the 70% of the content of PMP exam is around agile ways of working, because it has the people way of working, which is purely focused on agile way of managing people, and there are 25% which is coming purely from agile ways of working. So you won't find passing the exam difficult. So decide if it makes career sense for you. You better take the PMP certification to grow your career.